Hello, hello, and welcome to Wanted, powered by ohmTown.com. Today is March 2nd. This is Season 1, Episode 2 of one of our two newest shows, the other being Technology Today, which is tomorrow. Today we're going to be talking about car subscription services, doomsday bunkers, wearables, jet suit races, new VR games, the Fiat 500e, wacky gizmos and gadgets, cyberpunk handheld PC, retro classic keyboard, and mood lighting. I don't have an intro. Not yet. But everything is brought to you by ohmTown, so see you on the other side of this. So we're still not going to do transitions between stories, but I am Mayor Watt. That is ohmTown.com, and the channel you are watching right now is Wanted. We actually have a Western theme kind of a thing with a robot that has a cowboy hat, a badge, and anyway, because that's kind of the theme. The the sentient AI above me is having some type of a problem. I don't know what it is. I'm actually afraid to ask, but go ahead. You can say hi. Go for it.
Good evening, ohmTown citizens.
Yeah, I don't know about that at this point. We don't edit the show. We want you to have full transparency about the hot mess dumpster fire that this might turn into as we go through the show. Production value will increase as we go from episode to episode, but this is season 2, or episode 2 from season 1. Okay, let's just get into today's. Okay. First article is the 5 best car subscription services in 2024. Yes, this is the Wanted show. I'm not sure if all of these are actually wanted at this point. So you tell me. We're here to actually have a discussion. So if you come over to ohmTown here at twitch.tv/ohmTown, you can have a discussion with us about it. You can even send an email to mayor@ohmTown.com. Let me know your thoughts. The best car subscription services make it easy to get behind the wheel of today's most popular vehicles without the headaches of insurance and maintenance. What do you think?
I'm a little worried that there are subscription services for cars. I'm kind of thinking of those seats from that other article.
Pay $14.99 a month and you can have heated seats. The article is over at Digital Trends by John Bittner. Owning and leasing a vehicle used to be the two primary ways to get behind the wheel. However, that's starting to change with the advent of car subscription services. Never even knew that this was going to be a thing. These plans essentially take leasing to the extreme, covering every aspect of car ownership, aside from the cost of fuel. That means you won't have to worry about unexpected expenses related to insurance or maintenance, and your single monthly payment takes care of all of it. So, let's see. Here's a look at the 5 best car subscription services of 2024. These cover the variety of budgets and car types. Is that really? That's what these are. Okay. Hertz
so
My
is it
Car.
like kind of all-inclusive, like everything you need for your car?
Yep. And you pay a monthly service. Hertz My Car, the overall best car subscription service. The Hertz My Car subscription service is incredibly popular with shoppers. In fact, it's so popular that the company is often at capacity. $600 a month is the starting for the economy, compact, and mid-size vehicles. The small SUV, small truck, and full-size sedan is $1,000 a month, while the regular SUV, large trucks, and luxury sedan costs $1,400 a month.
Okay, these sound really high,
Right.
but I know when you're thinking about a car payment, that's not including a lot of other things, so they still seem very high.
It says here those are all reasonable prices compared to other subscription services, and the fact that these include insurance, maintenance, and the option to exchange your vehicle twice a month
Oh, that's interesting.
and access Sirius XM radio makes them incredibly compelling. If you want to drive a different car every 2 weeks, you can. As long as they have that flavor, whatever that car might be.
Right, right. Like the same category or something.
Right. It's amazing. Plenty of cars are included in those tiers, such as the Mazda 3, Toyota Tacoma, Jeep Grand Cherokee F-150, the Ford F-150, Cadillac CTS. The selection of cars is impressive, and it should be easy to find something that fits your needs.
You know, there's one thing I really like about this,
Hmm.
assuming it's not a long-term contract,
Right?
is that if you were seriously considering buying a new car that you hadn't had before, this might be a good way to try out a few in the short term. Yes, it would be expensive, but it's a lot less expensive than buying a brand new car and going, oh, I hate this thing.
Yeah, it doesn't say for how long. None of these, well, I mean, it didn't say in the thing how long, right?
No, it didn't say in this article.
Just maybe it is month to month. Interesting. But it starts at $600 a month. How about the Porsche Drive, the best car subscription service for sports cars? Access to iconic cars. Cons, expensive. Pro, complimentary delivery and pickup. Cons, limited miles. And you have 2 subscription tiers. The first one is $1,800 a month and gives you access to single vehicle subscription, which lets you drive a single car for the entire month. At the end of the month, you can keep driving it or swap it out. The other is a multi-vehicle subscription for $4,000 a month, which lets you change cars as much as you'd like. And it better. But it's all Porsche. Covers insurance.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be very specific, right? You have to be interested in that make.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't know. At $1,800 a month, man. Oof. But it covers roadside assistance, maintenance, concierge service, insurance. Just seems too much. Way too much for me. How about
By the
care?
way, I found out that the Hertz program, there's kind of a minimum of 2 months, but then you can basically cancel at any time.
Oh, so once you start, you can stop. But then it becomes month to month after 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So Care by Volvo, the best luxury car subscription service. Limited to 1,250 miles and it's expensive. Access to Volvo SUV lineup, premium equipment options, and additional wheel and tire protection. I thought it was all inclusive. Plans start at $833 for the XC40 Plus, which is a bit expensive. You're also limited to just 1,250 miles per month, so you better be driving it hyperlocal. I don't know, it doesn't talk about getting higher in the tiers, but that's okay. So what do you think? Would you do that? XC40, XC60, XC90 vehicle options, $833 per month, and that's what it starts at?
I mean, you'd have to do the math to see what you'd be paying a la carte, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you can swing the bat for $833 a month, but you can't afford a down payment on a car so that you can just
right,
get
like
it
that doesn't seem in alignment, right?
Yeah, maybe you're just afraid of commitment. Simple Car is the best affordable car subscription. Only Prius models available. Limited customization options. Simple, transparent pricing. You can cancel anytime and great miles per gallon. Starts at $599 for a 3rd generation Prius, $699 for a 4th generation Prius. You're only going to be driving
there's
a
something
Prius.
here. This is not a brand new car, or at least not a brand new model.
Right. I mean, maybe you can get the latest model, right? Are they on the 4th gen?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Of course, not everyone wants a Prius, and even though it's affordable for a subscription plan, it may be hard to stomach paying $600 for what's essentially an economy car. But it's Simple Car. So, $600, you could finance you could finance a car for $600 a month, easy. Oh, and
It
you'll.
looks like they might be on the 5th generation.
Oh, really? Wow. So you don't even get that. But again, it covers insurance, maintenance, roadside assistance, delivery. It says toll road access and option to add additional drivers. Not bad. So the most versatile subscription is Sixt Plus, SIXT. That's a weird name. Okay. Though it's not widely available, Sixt. Am I just pronouncing that wrong? Am I a dummy?
No, it's just difficult to say.
Anyway, yeah, tons of vehicle options. $4.99 per month, $7.89 per month. It starts at $4.49 per month. Mentioned Kona starts at just $4.49 a month, while the BMW 2 Series is $7.89. However, that doesn't tell the whole story. Plans typically only come with 1,000-mile allotments and no protection plans. And adding these features will raise your price by hundreds of dollars. Still, the flexibility is great and it gives you more options than most of its competitors. Yeah, I don't know. So this article goes into greater detail about each of these plans. I think it's neat if you have some extra money and you're afraid of commitment when it comes to a car. You might be able to try out some stuff. But what I want from this is I wanted it cheaper. But I guess for the flexibility and non-commitment, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what you're paying for, right? Because I don't see how you could a la carte price it at this. I think you could buy it for less per month. I mean, that's aside from the down payment, of course.
But see, like insurance is typically rolled into it, maintenance is typically rolled into it, but I don't know. It's a one-stop shop, and if you're afraid of commitment, then you don't have to worry about it because it's all taken care of by these companies. But then again, I guarantee you that this Jeep is on the $1,400 tier per month.
Right, and it's going to be used. It's not going to be brand new.
Yeah, because they're going to rotate them around. It's basically hurts. Boy, that's going to hurt. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Technology Today. Again, this is the Wanted show, so there's a lot of different sources for our articles, not just the Wanted channel, but there is a Just Wanted channel right there. This article is again over in Technology Today, but the latest billionaire trend is apparently doomsday bunkers with flammable moats. I want it just to keep the neighbors away, but is all this bunker building a sign the 1% know something that we don't and are preparing for end times? Let's go over to Gizmodo. It's The Guardian. Arwa Madawi is the author of this. And I had heard that there's some billionaires that are making little doomsday bunkers. Look, for example, and Mark Zuckerberg in December, Wired published an in-depth report detailing how the Meta CEO has been constructing a 5,000 square foot underground bunker on his 1,400 acre compound in Hawaii. Because, you're always safe on a volcanic island chain. Underground. Very normal, very cool. Beep, beep. I do that little lizard tongue thing. But anyway, according to planning documents reviewed by Wired, the compound will be completely self-sufficient with its own food and water supplies. I don't know how food supplies can be self-sufficient in a bunker unless they're hydroponic.
It's cans of soup or something.
There you go. Zuckerberg brand cans of soup, which is probably, no, I can't say it because people say that he's a lizard. Anyway, the price tag, so it's like mealworms. The price tag for the entire project is over $270 million. It's also shrouded in secrecy, and people involved in the project are bound by a non-disclosure agreement that's obviously
I can see
been
they're
compromised.
complying with those.
No. Let's see. The only other time you see Wait, the only other time you see that is when you're doing secure military installations, one local construction industry official affiliated with the site told Wired for a private project to have an NDA attached to it is very rare. It's not that big of a deal. I can do it if the person mowing my lawn would sign it.
I don't want you divulging the length of my grass blades.
Yeah, let's keep length out of any of our conversations. Because of all of the secrecy around Zuckerberg's shelter, it's not clearly exactly what sort of dystopian mechanisms are in place to ensure that plebs can't break in. I like it. I like this. This is great writing. A flammable moat. Try and breach it and it bursts into flames. We wound up literally building a 30-foot deep lake around the compound, skimmed with a lighter than water flammable liquid that can transform into a ring of fire, Corby explained to THR. God. That's that from the Hollywood Reporter, Virginia-based bunker company. Al Corby is president of Strategically Armored and Fortified Environments, called SAFE.
Oh my goodness.
So dumb, all of this. I'm not sure that the Book of Revelation is particularly authoritative source, but even disregarding that, there have been lots of prophets of doom out there, and plenty of reasons to be pessimistic about the state of the world. There's a famous quote in tech circles, often attributed to William Gibson: "The future is here. It's just not evenly distributed." That's true of disaster as well. While billionaires worry about an upcoming dystopia, people in Gaza are living it. Yeah, it starts talking about that kind of stuff. And it's true. So, hey, it is what it is. I wish that it would stop, but I am literally screaming into a void that everybody get along, but I'm going to start sounding like that one guy or that one person that was like screaming, "Leave Britney alone. Why can't we all just get along?" Right? Yeah. Because there's evil in the world. So, watching the collective. So, did this really just swing all the way
It's
into
up at
that?
the very end.
Oh, man, my goodness. Let's see. What a weird transition. It's not like billionaires are sitting there caring about what's going on in Gaza. They're sitting there spending $270 million
To
on a
stay away
frickin'
from any
bunker.
access to anything like that.
Yeah, why not create opportunity for everybody in all of the countries so that there isn't a need for something like this to take place? Yeah. Lizard dude. I got to go on, otherwise I'm going to soapbox about that. So the next article is over in Smack Talk. Gurman, as in Mark Gurman, that writes about Apple pretty much exclusively, it seems. Made like 30 years the person's been writing about it. Anyway, in the latest edition
He
of Power
picked
On,
the right company to follow.
yeah, I wish that I could stay focused like that, but Mark Gurman writes that Apple is exploring various form factors for future wearable products that include smart glasses similar to Amazon Echo frames or the Meta Ray-Bans. Well, how about the X-Real Ultra 2s or X-Real Air 2 Ultras? That's what they're called. Anyway, which offer some smart audio and AI features, able to ship much earlier than the goal of future full augmented reality glasses that can supplant the Vision Pro. So they want to make lighter weight augmented reality glasses. Hey, you know what? There's a person that has been talking about this. Anyway, Apple's also investigating how to add cameras to the AirPod earbuds, which, what? Why add cameras to the AirPods earbuds? Potentially.
How many ears need cameras?
What the hell? It's going to turn you into a chameleon so that you're like... Weird.
So you can have eyes in the back of your head, maybe?
Yeah. Separate smart glasses product altogether, potentially obviating the need for a separate smart glasses product altogether. But why? What? Add cameras.
I don't know about you, but I don't think most people see through their ears.
Yeah. Wait, stop. See that? Hear that noise? You see it? The article is over At 9 to 5 Mac by Benjamin Mayo. Little cameras right there, like pointing out. But what are you seeing with it? Where? On your phone? Are you looking at this? I don't understand. It's making my head hurt. AI could answer questions about objects that the user is looking at. For example, a rudimentary implementation of this functionality was rolled out to the Meta Ray-Ban glasses a few months ago. Whereas earbuds are smaller and discreet, and Apple already has customers comfortable with truly wireless earbuds as a form factor, the glasses would be more risky, but could incorporate better camera and longer battery life. This is kind of like a rumor, no shit news kind of a thing. Apple has also floated the idea of making a smart ring, a finger-worn device that can perform integrated health sensing duties for customers that don't want to wear a bulky Apple Watch. Bulky Apple Watch?
Right, it's kind of like a standard watch.
As opposed to something that has to be sized to your finger, and the moment that you gain a little weight, you have to get it cut off? Come on. I don't know. I don't buy into it. I don't think that they're going to make a smart, or they may be noodling around with that in the lab because they want to know what, the Joneses are doing. But while the glasses and ring are the tentative early discussion stages, it sounds like the AirPods with cameras project is slightly more concrete and probably the dumbest course that they could probably take short of Apple Vision Pro.
That's funny. That's what I was going to say. I think they've already shown that.
Yeah. $3,500 glasses with a 2.5 hour battery
goggles.
Life. Yeah. And they're starting to crack. So only a few apparently. We haven't heard much more about it lately, but we'll see next week what shakes out from this. So in a nutshell, Gurman says that Apple's exploring future wearable ideas, including AirPods with cameras, smart glasses, and a ring. I wish that Apple would actually make AR glasses and integrate it with short range radio devices that they have under their control. It's in their wheelhouse, and they can actually spin off an ecosystem in their vertical. Allow a little beacon to access your network. You provide it information from your iPhone or your iPad or whatever, and it transmits it out as a beacon within a certain range, and it superimposes the information on the AR glasses of your choice, whatever it is. If you allow the API to extend to your AR glasses, like the X Reels or the immersed visor or Apple Vision, lights or minis? Not Pro? The Apple Vision, right? Because the Apple Vision Pro is the $3,500 spatial computing version. Mm-hmm. The Apple Vision is the AR version, not the VR version or mixed reality version.
I wonder if Apple and other companies have actually surveyed consumers to see if they want wearable.
They have to have, otherwise they wouldn't be spending the money on this. I mean, they really would. I think that people would embrace it, if not for the past experience of dipshits walking around with these glasses that have cameras and going into bathrooms and bars and gyms and everywhere else with these glasses actively recording. I mean, if society wasn't populated by various nimrods who abuse the technology instead of having the, a moral and ethical compass that says don't walk into a bathroom. But there was another streamer that walked straight into a bathroom where there were kids that were going to the bathroom and stuff. And the internet was basically, oh my God, that is horrible. I'm going to keep watching. Here, let's subscribe. That kind of thing. I mean, it was ridiculous. The internet loves a dumpster fire. So, of course, Apple is experimenting with other wearables, and I want Apple AR glasses so that their ecosystem and their influence will drive business to consumer and business to business and consumer to consumer interactions with the App Store. You know, I can have an app that basically operates within the AR space that allows people to share information in my particular social network or attach it to which social network would we attach to? How could we do that? I don't want to attach to Twitter because it's no longer Twitter. I don't want to really attach to Facebook
or Instagram.
See, but everybody that I've been speaking to recently, when I polled them Thursday, they said Insta.
Well, absolutely. I mean,
which is actually Meta. So meh.
That's why I said that.
Yeah. I mean, there's Reddit, but Reddit is just there's just a ton of noise in Reddit that you have to filter from. But there has to be another social network that is kind of like clean and organized, not noisy. It's people that want to meet other people. And it's not necessarily a Tinder date, but you know what I'm saying? A social network to meet people, a social network to socialize.
Isn't that all social networks?
See, but I don't know. I'm having a hard time nowadays. I just don't see them as being social. It's more about just blurting out whatever you want to and not really having.
Well, I mean, I think all of those fit that description. But isn't the purpose of social networks kind of what you said? Maybe it's not what actually happens.
And I've had described to me that Facebook is nothing but the olds hanging out. So let's keep going though. Yeah, did I throw this into the? Yeah, I did. Okay, let's go on to the next article. This next article is in Technology Today. Iron Man pilots race in jet suits against a backdrop of Dubai skyscrapers. And this is something that I want to do. Pilots lined up on a runway in Dubai on Wednesday and fired up their 7 jet engines with an ear-splitting roar, but they weren't preparing to fly an airplane. They were the aircraft. Check that out.
Oh, so, my goodness.
John Gambrell over at techexplorer.com put the article together. Yeah. So they basically have these little jetpacks and vectored thrust arm cuffs. And they hold on to them and they control how they fly and the speed, etc. Apparently, the city-state in the UAE, known for being home to the world's tallest building, it's always the Burj Khalifa, and other wonders, hosted that it's called its first ever jet suit race. Racers zipped along a route with skyscrapers of Dubai Marina looming behind them, controlling the jet engines in their hands and their backs. And if it sounds like Iron Man, the Marvel comic book character made internationally known by actor Robert Downey Jr., the pilots say it's exactly that. No, it's not. He didn't have little thrusters in his hands as much as, like, not even little thrusters. He had little thrusters if he wanted them to be Anyway, I don't want to get into the Marvel side of things because I'm going to be sitting there nerding out on Iron Man, but he didn't look like this. So the races on Wednesday saw pilots wear 1,500 horsepower jet suits, more powerful than most luxury sports cars, and using the same kind of fuel used by Dubai-based long-haul carrier Emirates Airbus A380s and Boeing 777 aircraft. Yeah, jet fuel. Pilots lined up on the runway and used at the Dubai Marina by Skydive Dubai, the thrill-seeking firm associated with the Sheikhdom's Crown Prince Hamdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum, with some parachutists coming down as they prepared their jetpacks. So off they go. This is what they were doing. So this is like the little mini planes, except that they're using these vector thrust arm controllers. So each one of these actually
go up to 80 miles per hour. It's pretty fast.
The pilots did pick up speed during their heats, with two actually bumping into each other but remaining in the air as a crowd watched in wonder. Isn't that amazing? It would be so much fun to try this, but I swear I'd be bouncing on the ground so much. This would hurt. There are risks, however. In 2020, Vincent Refit, one of Dubai's original jetmen as part of the separate venture, died in a crash during training after gaining fame for once flying alongside an Emirates double-decker A380. So yeah, it's not as fun and bubbles as you all might think. Although I'm sure that there is some armor that they could have worn. There's like motorcycle riders actually have armor. It's a thing that inflates when the shock is too much. Like what do you want to call it? When they get separated from their motorcycle, or they activate it, it actually inflates, foomp, and protects them from directly hitting the ground. Without the protection. That's pretty cool. Some bicyclists have it as helmets. It's like an inflatable helmet that pops up around their head. So yeah, I'm sure that they could probably do something like that, but it's pretty cool. I've seen something like this in the past where they've like flown around. Military has tried it out. Obviously, people like the skydiving companies do this from time to time. It says everything's hot. It's running, the engines are screaming at you, and the flag drops, and it's just you, and it's just you absolutely go for it. That would be awesome. Look at that. They're just like flying around like so many bees.
Looks funny.
I think it's awesome. But I don't know, like, how heavy is this thing? Obviously, you can't grab anything because you're controlling it. Your first instinct to land is to kind of do that Marvel superhero slam your hand down on the ground kind of thing when you land. Yeah, I would love to try this. Oh, there's somebody
maybe
wiping
it'll
out.
be exported to other locations.
Yeah. It looks so light and easily packed, right? Yeah, pretty cool. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in Reality Hacker. One of VR's most successful studios is building 2 brand new games, and I want. So it's Cloudhead Games. Might be old school as far as VR goes, but it's always been looking forward. So let's go on over to Road to VR. Ben Lang is the author. Back in the Oculus Rift DK2 in 1 days, the studio was already thinking about how to design games for VR motion controllers, despite no headsets on the market shipping with controllers in 2016. After the launch of The Gallery, Episode 1, and Episode 2, Heart of the Emberstone, Cloudhead was looking ahead to standalone VR headsets. Designing around opportunities and limitations of the first Quest headset meant finding a careful balance of scope and fun. Let me throw this into the chat. Oh, you know what? I didn't throw the Iron Man one in either. Sorry about that. So there's a link to the jet suit races, and here's the link to the VR studio. So I'm really into VR. I love the idea of it. I actually just got Bootstrap Island, which is you're the sole survivor of a shipwreck on an island, and you have to go and run around in it. It's a lot of fun. Although I've only played maybe an hour of it. It says, designing around opportunities and limitations of the first Quest headset meant finding a careful balance of scope and fun, culminating in the launch of the VR rhythm shooter Pistol Whip, which I have. Though not quite the bar-setting success of Beat Saber, Pistol Whip has endured as one of VR's best-rated and most popular games, and it's a lot of fun. It's basically a shooter. That's all you do. Shoot, 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 shoot. So despite its success, the studio has been largely silent about its post-Pistol Whip plans, but at long last, we hear what they're up to. So let's see here. Let's kind of find exactly what they're talking about. Do they not actually say what it is?
I haven't seen it yet.
So they're going to transition from Pistol Whip to 2 completely new games. They're excited to announce that the last few years of prototyping in labs has led the way to 2 new titles for the studio, and the team's now several months into production. We'll be sharing more details in the near future. That's not really much that they say, huh? But I want more VR games. I want higher resolution, more capability, and I want the technology to be evolving the hardware and alongside it the software. It says, as a studio, Cloudhead has historically been very multi-platform. Pistol Whip is available on every major VR platform. In fact, here, let me see.
So that might be a good sign, right? That it's not going to be constrained to one platform.
Yeah.
Or that they won't be, because there'll be 2 of them.
Oops. Yeah. So, Pistol Whip right now is over on Steam for $30. Has a very positive rating. But it is absolutely VR only, so you'll have to get an inexpensive headset and play it. I say go get the Pico 4s. They're like $400, and they do the job really well, so I like them. So let's keep going though. The next article is over in ohmTown Daily. The electric Fiat 500e is returning to a different America. If you were here for the ohmTown Daily News Show, then you might have heard a little bit about this. This is an electric Fiat. It was available for a brief time. It says the Italian carmaker Fiat is bringing the battery electric 500e back to North America. A lot has changed since it was last in the market. It was in California. The only problem that I found with this, and I can make this one faster because we talked about it for tonight's ohmTown Daily News Show as well. This car is really tiny, but that's what it's supposed to be. If you are interested in having a small car in the United States, and this is what you're looking for. It is all electric, so it has this huge, in comparison, battery pack. That's going to give you, I think it's 117 miles, I think it was. Let me make sure. I mean, it looks great inside, but it's small. I mean, it's so compact. People in America basically think that they're going to die if they don't have a F-150 minimum.
Right, because the problem is cars like that are driving on the road next to you or behind you.
Yeah, exactly. So it says the 2-door 500e is the first battery electric from Stellantis in the US. It will be the lightest passenger EV in the market and carry an all-electric range of 149 miles, which means that it can drive 70 miles out and back. So 75 miles out and back. The problem with that, though, is they say that you're only going to have to charge it for, what was it? You can charge it in 5 minutes.
Like 5 minutes to get like 30 miles.
Yeah, 31 miles. Under ideal charging conditions, but I have yet to ever have a charging condition that is ideal. So things like rain, hot weather, cold weather. Pretty much anything.
Hills, traffic,
heavy people in the car, luggage,
wind.
Wind and everything just drains the battery that much quicker, and really not in line with the same rate of disgorging power like a internal combustion engine does. So the original 500e made slightly less power at 111 horsepower. This one is 118 horsepower. But it is, while they say it's the lighter of all of the small passenger vehicles, it's lighter because it's a smaller vehicle overall. And its range is limited by, its range is limited by that same small size factor. So it would probably take more than 30 minutes to get that 31 miles. That's 50%. That's 25% of the total charge, by the way.
Right. And what if you're late for work or your trip is more than 31 miles?
Yeah. Yep. Hey, it could be worse. I suppose it could be a hydrogen car that you can't actually charge anywhere. But it's
That's true.
small, it's cute, it's zippy, it sticks to the road, it's heavy, so and its center of gravity is low, so the chances of it flipping is slim and none. But at $32,500, you can pay $8,000 more and get a Tesla. But maybe you're not looking for that. Maybe you don't want to sit there and send some more money to um, the billionaire.
The head of the formerly known as Twitter.
So Musk is probably going, I'm getting compared to 500E. So I don't know. Some people will want this. I dig this. If I was doing nothing more than short range commuter trips to and from somewhere, I think that would be great. And again, as long as I could sit there and put it in a charger and top it off real fast, but that's not what the energy grid supports nowadays. And it's not like you can just drive into a Toys R Us and pull the AA batteries out and put new AA batteries in for a car this size. It better be AA's. Anyway, I like the car.
The car looks cute.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a mini light. And they actually talk about the Mini in this as well. There's an all-electric Mini that's out there. And I don't know, it's bigger than this car. When I've seen them side by side, and I have, the new Mini Cooper is considerably bigger. There is an all-electric Mini. This one says it has 181 horsepower electric motor and a range of about 114 miles, which is 30 miles less than the 500. So, yeah. And it says that it can regain 80% of its battery in 36 minutes. But again, like we said earlier, why? What the hell? Who can sit around for an hour worth of their time? 36 minutes is closer to an hour, because you don't know how efficient that plug is actually going to end up being, or if it's even on and working properly. Hell.
Right, or even accessible if it's not at your residence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if you can always plan your charging for overnight when your car is sitting, but the reality is you're going to need a charge when you're not at your residence.
Yeah.
Or when you have a schedule.
And I don't want to drive, an hour at 60 miles an hour and I have to sit around for another hour plus, just because if you only charge to 80%, that means you're not getting 114 miles overall.
Exactly. And think how soul crushing that is if you came out after a work day and still needed a charge and you had to sit around in the parking lot or whatever.
Yeah, it all just sucks. So we need fast swap battery tech. That's just the end of it. Let's go on to the next article. This next article is over in Reality Hacker, the weird, wacky gizmos and gadgets that they saw at MWC 2024. We talked about this a little bit, Mobile World Congress, in a previous show. But this Wired article, Julian Chakatu and Simon Hill put the article together. It says, have you played Doom on a robot lawnmower, which is a separate article in ohmTown. We did. Some app-free phones to an electric bike with AI and 5G. We've combed the halls of the Mobile World Congress in search of all things quirky and bizarre. Again, it's a Wired article. So they played Doom on a robot lawnmower. Here's the screen.
Which, that doesn't even make sense, but...
Because if somebody can do it, they're going to do it. I tell a story about how they put Pac-Man on a voting machine that was supposed to be secure, but they had enough time, they had enough access to do it. So yeah, there they are playing Doom. That's hilarious. Yeah, too funny. So they petted and walked a dog in a VR demo that you can feel with the, I guess, VR gloves. Wow, there's a new app.
I wonder if you do it in VR, do you still have to like drag your dog that doesn't want to walk.
Yeah. Clean up after it. Little virtual poos all behind you.
Right, are you getting the full experience?
What is going on? That's too funny. VR, like doing something in VR makes you look like a complete idiot. Too funny. It says, while it didn't feel true to life, the wrist packs were effective enough to create the illusion of interacting with an actual dog, and certain sensations like shaking a ball with smaller balls inside fooled their brain, adding sensation to a virtual reality really boosts your immersion, and it's surely only a matter of time before this kind of thing is widely available. And what are the name of the suits in Ready Player One?
Haptic.
Yeah,
I don't know
haptic
if they had
feedback
an
suits.
actual name.
Yeah, haptic suits. Yeah. Sorry, Deutsche Telekom, the parent company to T-Mobile, has partnered with a company called Brain.ai to create an app-free smartphone. Technically, it's a bit of a misnomer because you need the Android phone to use it. However, baked into the lock screen is an AI assistant you can speak to. Unlike the other derpy assistants, once you start talking, the phone starts building an interface around what you're asking for. So it gets to know you and tells the parent company everything about you. So it's like being married to a phone that informs the enterprise of your existence. It's kind of creepy. How about smart contacts? That one's pretty wild. Functional smart contact lens built into has a myriad of concepts and separate components, okay, that it hopes to fit into one slick miniature smart contact lens by 2026. Micro LED displays. Interesting.
Oh wow, this is getting kind of interesting.
Yeah, what the heck is going on? So there's a creepy ChatGPT powered grandchild doll for old folks. No. Let's go on. Energizer's latest Android phone has a stupid big battery. That's okay. I mean, if it's a case for a phone, then fine. That's fine with me.
It looks like it is a case.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. There's a bunch of other stuff. So go and check it out. It's like a lot, actually. How close to the end am I? I'm trying to see.
Okay, what's the one with the pets?
Pet Now wants to help find your lost dog or cat. Let's see. The idea is that you take a photo of your cat or dog's face and body to add it to a Pet Now database, and if your pet should go missing, anyone who finds it can take photos and upload the app, which uses AI to try and find a match. Once the results are served up, you can connect with the possible owners through the app to verify the identity before arranging to meet.
Okay, that is an improvement because currently it's like, what color is your pet? Brown. That narrows it down to every other pet.
Every other pet. Well, maybe it's like the whale patterning, right? The fur is absolutely unique.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why they used to use, why they use those RFID chips, but those RFID chips have been found to cause cancer. So, Pure Li-Fi shrinks its receiver. Is that really what? Using light to transfer data. Interesting. So there's more nuanced disclosures in this article. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top, and you can go and check this out. The link is in the chat. It'll be in the show notes, and you'll be able to pick it up as a matter of the video over on YouTube. But Wanted isn't ready for being a podcast just yet. We're going to wait for a couple more weeks, and then it'll be released under the ohmTown name. So when you go and search for it over in Apple or other podcast catcher player places, just search for ohmTown and you'll pull up all of the all of the podcasts. We're now up to 5. So let's keep going.
By the way, there was something about Hot Pod earlier, and it made me think of the Podcatchers.
Hot Pod. That's my new After Dark show. No, it's not. So the next article is over at Warcrafters Screens, where this new AMD-powered handheld PC is going. We don't need screens, just silly cyberpunk glasses. Techno may well be a brand that you've never heard of, but if its newly launched Pocket Go runs as good as it looks, then there will be a completely new segment for the portable gaming market, because where every handheld PC you can buy right now has a built-in screen, this one abandons it for a set of AR glasses. Dun dun dun. Admittedly, the launch itself is somewhat light on details, but the product itself does actually exist. I almost said doesn't, as Techno has been promoting it at an MWC event in Barcelona. So the article is over at PCGamer.com. Nick Evanson is the author. The deck statement says you'd never look anyone in the eye again while gaming with this on your face, and that's what it looks like. They look really close to the immersed visor AR headset, but apparently all you have is this and that, and you don't have to sit there and stare at your phone, but you look through these. So it says at first glance it appears to be a very chunky controller with some AR glasses plugged into it via a standard USB Type-C cable, but inside the hand unit, there's an AMD Ryzen 7 8840HS processor, 16 gigs of LPDDR. Basically, it's a pretty beefy mobile computer. But it has a integrated GPU. But it's a Radeon 780 mobile integrated. So actually a discrete graphics card. It's basically the same chip as 7840U that powers the likes of the Neo Air 1S, which means nothing to me. So they say it's not entirely sold on the controller's design. The right thumbstick looks a little too close to the buttons, and as most APUs and handheld PCs tend to get a bit toasty, your mitts are likely to get quite warm too. But the glasses are equivalent to a 215-inch TV as viewed from a distance of 6 feet. But how true that particular statement is will depend heavily on the resolution and refresh rate of the screens in the glasses. So it really depends on the specs of those glasses. But I think that's kind of where things should be going. I would love to have nothing but AR glasses be the screen for all of my devices, because then I don't have to worry about security. I don't have to worry about looking down. I can just have these glasses on.
But did you have to worry about leaving your glasses in stores and restaurants?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, they're actually they're tied via a cable, so if you have this thing, you're not going to lose any of this. If you're going to lose one part of it, you're going to lose the whole thing. But I don't know what the price was. They don't say. No,
I don't think we saw that in there.
It says there's no indication of price or retail availability, but I can't imagine that this is going to be cheap. If it's less than $1,000 mark, they'll be very surprised. I agree, because it's not just a handheld phone-like mobile device, it's the glasses as well. So if this is $500, this is $500, you're looking at $1,000 easy. So I'm willing to bet that it's going to come in at around like $12.99. But then again, maybe they've got startup capital that they can burn through as a runway so that they can get adoption. It's pretty niche, though. I don't know. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Technology Today. Zio's retro classic keyboard looks nice as it is to type on. So a mix of old typewriter and modern mechanical keyboard. The updated Azio RC Prestige instantly adds some style and sophistication to your desk setup. And that's what it looks like. I've always liked these kind of retro keyboards. They give it a kind of a steampunky feel.
And they do a good clack sound.
They can, yeah. You have to be careful of like promoting a particular keyboard sound, because there are people that are really into keyboards that know what the box sound is, and if you're
I
trying,
see.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yes. Then it just makes a neat sound.
it just makes a neat sound. Yeah. So it looks cool. The weird thing about it is if it's trying to give you an old world appeal and then you see these modern switches sitting underneath it, it kind of pulls you out of the old school style, but it's pretty neat. It looks like it has Bluetooth and USB as an option, so you can go full wireless. That's not bad. It says there's no 2.4 gigahertz wireless option though. With Bluetooth, up to 3 devices can wirelessly connect to the keyboard. The keyboard will go to sleep to conserve battery life when not in use. They said something about frustrating. What was this?
That it takes a second or two to wake and reconnect.
Come on. That shouldn't be frustrating. Even though tested with early production sample of the sound of the keyboard, the typing experience was wonderful. The keyboard ASIO sent them had Gateron G Pro 3 brown tactile mechanical switches. So there you go. That would have a really nice clicky click click. Because it offers linear red and clicky blue as well. So it says they're not hot swappable too. So even if you don't like your initial choice, you can change them later. It says they're hot swappable. So I think I said they're not hot swappable, but they are. So all you have to do is yank them out and switch them with something else that you like. These actually are really nicely designed keycaps. I really like those. I wonder if I can actually get those for myself. I don't know.
That's why this is in Wanted.
Yep. So ASIO RC Prestige Keyboard Kickstarter campaign is fully funded and the keyboard is currently in production. A fully assembled keyboard is a pledge of $169, which for a whole new keyboard that's mechanical and high quality, $169 isn't that bad. Particularly if you're into these candy bar keyboards. I don't use them unless I have to anymore, but split keyboards are better for your ergonomics, so you don't get repetitive strain injury or carpal tunnel syndrome. Yeah, but I want it because I like keyboards. I'm kind of dumb that way. I really like having a bunch of. I should start using. Maybe I can bring in that typewriter keyboard that we have here for writing. So if you want to be a writer and you want the typewriter kind of feel, you can get a typewriter keyboard, and they're pretty expensive, but they're fun to use, particularly if you want to get that kind of mechanical typewriter aesthetic going, and you kind of think that you're typing on a regular typewriter.
Right, it looks and sounds like a typewriter.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, let's go on to our last article for tonight. It's over in Late Night Geeks. These desktop lamps beam near infrared light in a bid to improve your mood. So it's mood lighting. A different kind of mood. It's supposed to affect your mood, but as humans spend increasing amounts of time indoors, we lose access to the sun's natural benefits. Recognition of seasonal affective disorder has grown accordingly, while the actual occurrence of the condition is low, around 5%, or 10 million or so Americans, which sounds low, but it's a lot of people. It's led to increasing awareness of the sun's impact on the production of serotonin. So the article is over at TechCrunch.com. Brian Heater is the author, and they're also called light therapy lamps or SAD lamps. Seasonal affective disorder actually happens starting around September and going off into March of the following year, basically the winter days. Where nights are longer and it's colder and there isn't as much sun out. And so you want to get one of these lights, but you want ones that are authorized, certified, or at least recommended in some way via National Institute of Health low light therapy in the far red to near infrared range of the spectrum, collectively termed photobiomodulation. The thing about this is that there are going to be companies out there that just kind of say that this is what it does, and they don't actually reach that range, 600 to 1000 nanometers. And I don't know, you just don't want to pretend, although you can probably get what do they call it, a subconscious response, what do they call that?
Yeah, I was wondering about that, like a placebo effect almost.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a placebo effect, then and you don't know the difference, because the thing about it is that the seasonal affective disorder is basically a level of depression. It's brought on by the situation you're in, not as much sunlight, you're inside, you're not really getting a lot of exercise, etc. But if essentially you trick your brain into thinking that you're getting the right light, then you're fine, really. I mean, it's
right.
okay.
You might actually have a positive effect, but I still think you want to get one that's authorized, because you don't want one that's giving you dangerous light right next to your skin.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes that infrared range, if it's poorly manufactured, could actually be doing damage to your eyes. So you got to be careful of it. So get a light therapy lamp that's actually authorized, that's certified as being the proper spectrum, the proper quality. I don't have any that I can list. I wish I could. It says here this weekend at MWC, a Dutch company, fittingly, given the lack of sunlight present during Netherlands winters, called Seaboro, showcase small devices designed to replicate large SAD lamps. One sits next to your computer and the other clips above the display, looking a lot like an external webcam, and both plug into your USB port for power. They say the devices are a proof of concept, but if you keep looking for SAD lamp, the way I say that just makes it sound sad, but or light therapy lamps, again, just when you do a search, find one that is actually recommended as a medical device, or as a true treatment for it. Find somebody that has had some experience with one, or look at the reviews and make sure that they're legitimate. So, okay, well, that's it for tonight and tonight's Wanted. This is just our second episode of this show. We're going to be adding a whole lot more sources to our aggregation, and finding some new and interesting materials. Are you still there? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Your visualizer's off. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out. I am Mayor Watt. That is ohmtown.com, and up there is the visualizer for the sentient AI. Do you want
if
to
I don't know if I'm here, am I here? Good night, ohmTown citizens. Come back tomorrow for an episode of ohmTown Daily, Continuity Report, and Technology Today, and then we'll see you next week for another episode of Wanted.
Oh, yeah, and then all throughout the week, we're doing ohmTown Daily News Show. We used to refer to it as ohmTown Daily, but I've gone back to adding the news show part of it, because we are under an umbrella channel over on Apple Podcasts of just called ohmTown. So just want to separate ourselves a little bit more from the brand. Anyway, that's it. We're done. See ya tomorrow. See ya online. See ya everywhere. Bye-bye.